vlog today. There's two real things that I want to mention. The first is an update on where we are with the Jenny Fields settlement. I was under the impression that the searches had begun. I don't know if they have or not, because I was written to by the lawyers telling me that I had to pay before they would start, but I'd given permission a week before and I didn't receive the letter asking for payment until this Wednesday. So I'm told that sometimes they start and sometimes they wait for the money, so who knows. But I went in on Friday. I didn't see the conveyancer, but I did meet with her paralegal secretary, who was very helpful, and handed over the money that they require and stuff like that. It does look like if they haven't started the searches, then we're screwed in as far as moving in by Christmas. It just won't happen. If they have started, well, who knows? It's getting more and more likely that it will be January, but there we are. As long as we know where we're going, it doesn't really matter. So that's the first thing. Second thing to say is that I was published in the Harrogate Advertizer this week. Now, 2 weeks ago, you'll know that they started renovations on the bathroom, and they pulled all the wallpaper off, and they found a mural from the original house, which was built in about the 1890s, so you're looking at 120 odd years ago. This mural was of Fountains Abbey, and I took photos of this before, you know, it was recovered up again. It needed to be covered up because it wasn't quite in as good quality as it needed to be on show, so that's fine. I sent the pictures to Fountains Abbey, but I sent a bit of blurb into the Harrogate Advertizer, and I never heard anything back from them. Now, this Saturday, somebody turned up and they said, "Look, have you seen this? It's your wall mural in the paper." And it turns out what's happened is they have got the sort of blurb from me, but actually got the pictures from Fountains Abbey direct. In one way, they're trying to save money, because whenever they print a photo, they have to pay royalties, and if they get it from another institution, it saves them having to pay me. On a good note, if they paid me, of course, all the money would have to go to the landlord because he owns the property, and I would not want to pay him anything, because he's sort of redoing this bathroom as a bit of a punishment for having let it go for 6 years. So I'm okay with the fact that they sort of did a bit of a naughty thing and took the photos from the Abbey. That's sort of why I sent the photos to the Abbey anyway. But the result was that it ended up in the Harrogate Advertiser, so that's fantastic. I've been published in magazines and online before, but never actually in the press, so this is a first time for me with that. Now, the final point for this week is to do with something which is going to be ongoing. You will know that a number of weeks ago, back in August, I spoke to you about my horror at the Bishop of Ripon and Leeds doing a sort of an ecumenical service. Well, it wasn't ecumenical, it was an interfaith service at Ripon Cathedral in August. Well, I've discovered now that he is the person championing a commission into getting Leeds its own diocese, which sounds like a good idea, because Leeds is a huge city, Ripon's a tiny city, and they're about 45 minutes apart by bus. And how one is supposed to govern Leeds when they're stuck in Ripon, I don't know. I would do the obvious, and that is remove Bradford Cathedral, which was only sort of made a cathedral in the early, I think, just after the Great War. And basically it wasn't designed ever to be a cathedral, it's just a glorified parish church. I would take the cathedral, I would demote that and make Leeds Parish Church, which is the huge cathedral-sized church in Leeds, which was never given cathedral status, and I would move the bishop from Bradford to Leeds and just have it as Leeds and Bradford. Seems obvious. Same amount of cathedrals, same amount of bishops, and what you do is you get rid of a cathedral that doesn't really deserve to be a cathedral in the first place. No, the Bishop of Ripon and Leeds would rather dissolve three dioceses. He wants to dissolve Wakefield, which was established in the 1880s. He wants to dissolve his own boundary of Ripon and Leeds. He wants to dissolve Bradford as well. And what he wants to do is create one bishop, so we're losing 2 bishops here at least, one Bishop of Leeds, and probably put him in Wakefield. Leeds Parish Church becomes a pro-cathedral, which till now the Church of England have never done. That's a sort of an American Episcopalian thing, and they have bishops coming out of their ears because they have far too many cathedrals all over the place. You know, they have lesser cathedrals, greater cathedrals, and we've just never bothered with that. So they started plans for this last year. They're thinking of trying to get it done at the end of next year, and I'm not very happy about it. So there we are. And that, I think, is it for this week. I don't think I shall be back here now until New Year, will I? Because next year I'm away in Leeds. The week after is dinner with my parents. The week after that is Christmas. So it'll probably be New Year, but you'll still be hearing from me blogs from different places, I'm sure. So there we are.